cocktail aficionados. It's John Moser with another edition of Cocktails Out of Quarantine. Now, if you watched the last episode, you saw me show you how to make a lime cordial, right? The first time I ever made on this show something that was non-alcoholic. But I made clear that my purpose in showing you how to make that was for you to use it in a very alcoholic drink known as the Rum Hurricane, or simply the Hurricane. The Hurricane is familiar to probably anyone who has spent any significant time in New Orleans. It's associated mainly with Pat O'Brien's, and it's got a very interesting history to it. Now, there has been a drink called the Hurricane as far back as 1938, 1939, because at the New York World's Fair, which was held in Queens, New York, in 38, 39, there was a place called the Hurricane Bar that produced something called the Hurricane. Whatever the recipe was, it seems to have been lost to history. There's speculation that there was rum in it, but it may have been something as simple as rum and lemonade. We just don't know. But we do know that what we know as the Hurricane today, the kind that's served at Pat O'Brien's and many other places, inspired by Pat O'Brien's, was originated during World War II. And here's the story. Pat O'Brien was a legendary bar owner. He owned several establishments in New Orleans and elsewhere. And during World War II, he was having certain difficulties getting hold of traditional liquors. Right? Americans like their whiskey, but guess what? During World War II, most of the distilleries in the United States were given over to the production of industrial alcohol for use as torpedo fuel and for other purposes. So U.S. production of various types of whiskey plummeted. And then, of course, you couldn't import liquor from Europe as you once did. What was plentiful? Rum. There was a ton of rum produced in the Caribbean islands, produced in large amounts. Wasn't much of a market for it in Europe during the war for obvious reasons, but Americans loved to drink, and there was lots of rum for them to consume. So here's the deal. Pat O'Brien was trying to get whiskey and the things that traditionally Americans like to drink, but the distributors he had to deal with always said, well, okay, if you want a case of whiskey, you have to buy 2 cases of rum as well, right? They had a hard time giving it away. Okay, so Pat O'Brien did this. And what are you going to do with all that rum? Well, he invented a drink with lots of different kinds of fruit. The rum was practically free. He said, okay, if you're a sailor, and by the way, there was a major naval base not far away. Sailors were always stopping in New Orleans. If you're a sailor and you come to Pat O'Brien's, we will give you free rum drinks. And in fact, he called it a Hurricane because he poured it in glasses that were shaped like a hurricane lamp. So that's the story behind the Hurricane. It's now a legendary part of New Orleans cocktail cuisine. And by the way, the ubiquity of rum in the United States during World War II is also why there was such a takeoff of the tiki culture, right? Pat O'Brien's isn't really part of tiki culture, but in a way, the Hurricane is kind of a tiki drink, right? It has the rum and has the various types of fruit. So it's not too far off base to call it a tiki-style drink, even though Pat O'Brien's isn't a tiki bar. All right, I've gone on too long. This is a delicious drink. It's also a very potent drink, so be careful with it. I'm going to show you how to make it, but first, I'm going to show you what you're going to need. There are a lot of ingredients in this drink. It's not complicated to make. It's just a matter of putting everything into a shaker and shaking it up. I'm going to show you the various things you're going to need to make a Hurricane. First of all, light rum, Bacardi, classic. Can't really do much better than that. And then Navy strength rum, Pusser's rum. This was a famous, originally among the Royal Navy. This is why it is British Navy Pusser's rum. Apparently a painkiller. I made that drink once. It's not an authentic painkiller unless it uses Pusser's, but there you go. The lime cordial, as promised, here it is. It's delicious. You can use Rose's sweetened lime juice if you want, but this is better. Passion fruit syrup. I wasn't going to make this myself. Passion fruit's not all that easy to find here in Ashland anyway. This stuff is going to work just fine. Orange juice and lime juice and pineapple juice. Now, I cheated a little with this. Right? It's hard to juice a pineapple, I found. Last time we had fresh pineapple, I strained the juice off of it, and I poured it in an ice cube tray and froze it. And it was in the freezer for a while. It would be better, obviously, if it were fresher, but it's still gonna be fine. It sure smells good. So we've got pineapple juice. So all these different kinds of juice. Some simple syrup, sweeten it up. And we are going to garnish with a little piece of orange as well as a Luxardo cherry. Right? As I told you, a lot of ingredients. That doesn't mean that it's a tough drink to make. So those are the things you're going to need. Let's make that drink. And away we go. We start with 1.5 ounces of light rum. We have, of course, our shaker with ice in it. 1.5 ounces of light rum. Now, what am I measuring? Oh, it's over here. 1.5 ounces. Obviously, this is what fuels the drink. Followed by 1 ounce. Helps if you take the cork out. That smells delicious. 1 ounce of our Pusser's Navy Strength rum. All right, so we got 2.5 ounces of alcohol in this. It's a serious drink, folks. We are going to add to that 1/3 ounce of lime cordial. There we go. 1/3 ounce of lime cordial. 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Just dump that right in there. 1/2 ounce of orange juice. I will get that out of 1/2 of this easily. It's a little bit big for this purpose, but ooh, orange juice spraying everywhere. There we go. There's 1/2 ounce. And 1/2 ounce of lime juice. Get that easily out of 1/2 a lime. Perfect. And 1/4 ounce of passion fruit syrup. I'm going to shake this up a little bit. 1/4 ounce of the passion fruit syrup. And finally, 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. That's a little too much. I'm going to pour all that in. There. Those are all the ingredients. Seal it up. Give it a good shake. Now I'm going to prepare the glass. So here's the closest that I have to a hurricane glass. I think it's pretty close. It's actually a type of beer glass. I have prepared a garnish. 1/2 slice of orange with a Luxardo maraschino cherry. Lovely. And give that one more shake. And I pour it right in. Ooh, what a lovely color. Place this right on top, and there we go. It is the classic hurricane. So, it's a beautiful day here in Ashland, Ohio. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. This is a fantastic summer drink. It's really a fantastic anytime drink, but here's a little piece of New Orleans just for you. Cheers. Oh, that's delicious. All right, until next time, thanks for watching.